Hi all, right, welcome back to Enemy Action Kharkov, Soviet Solo, take two, part 47, I think. um, so, yeah, nothing really to discuss. No new errors been pointed out as of yet. Still haven't heard anything back about that question, just the comment that Tom Castle made, but I wasn't really. So I don't know if Mr. Butterfield's not around right now or if it's escaped him. I'll leave it a little bit yet, but if I see him maybe answering other questions, I think I'll try and ask the question again because I would like to know what's what with that. And just regarding the what was it, preferences within the 10.54. Yeah, okay. So I was watching back a bit of footage. I've not watched everything back because I've done quite a lot yesterday, actually. So I wasn't able to watch it all back. But yeah, I hope some of you were screaming at your screens saying, "Don't play that! Don't use that artillery combat tactic, Grant. Don't use the first guards because you need it." And yeah, I completely forgot about. I think it's when I moved these pop-off units in here to sort of help out the dispersed guy. My plan had been pop-off into here, first guards into here to help out. But then I also felt when the third corps activated again, these units here seemed to take care of the issue, and I didn't necessarily feel like I needed a first guards unit in here. And then the other thing was, well, we've still got the pop-off units here. We don't really need to move that guards unit along. We don't need to adjust them. But the one I forgot about was this guy. Was helping him out, giving him supply. And that was important. That was important part. I mean, I looked at the other bits and said, right, I don't need it, and I forgot about this. Or I would not have played that artillery. Because these guys are going out of supply now, and there's nothing I can do. Actually, there is something I could do about it, but I've got another issue as well, obviously, haven't I? With that mistake of forgetting about this Rouse unit. I had been over in the 1st Panzer Army area. He's managed to get himself down to here. Of course, he got himself into a position first. Where did he get down to? I can't remember where it was. Was he followed his arrows down to here or something like that, wasn't it? Or wherever it was. And then he made the move to get proximate to the VP town. And he had the choice of two, and it ended up this was the one that fitted the preferences better. But I did remember that I had this. And obviously the plan was to activate the 69th Army on the last card, and the initial plan had obviously been to get these guys up to where they were then proximate to get into these towns here, Kharkov and the likes. However, I could move one of them. I mean, I can't get it down to here, obviously. Even strategic movement, I can't. These are the furthest south, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We would still be one short anyway. But what I can do is move a unit or more if I want to a position that's proximate as well, and then it's a case of a race. However, we do get the first activation of the turn. Yes, I know Germans are going to get one more impulse, so we've got to keep our fingers crossed for that one. But you know, I think the lightweight that's worth the gamble, and we'd want to activate these guys anyway. And I suppose what I was thinking about was we've not used any one unit move, so I could use this card for that. That means I don't get to do any of this with the 69th Army, but I would be able to move a unit and get this guy in supply. So what's the more important part of that? I don't know. I'm not sure. I kind of feel, I'm annoyed that I should have kept that card. I mean, The other thing was I was trying to get rid of and shorten the German impulses too. You know, I know that thought came into my head, well, if I use it for artillery, it'll mean one less German impulse this turn. And I just forgot all about the fact we were going to put a unit in here to bring it back into support. Bring it so that it could trace supply. Okay, I still feel like activating the 69's better. However, I mean, once he's out of supply, that's well, actually, you do have air supply. Is it air supply? Air supply. Place all units on 1 hex in full supply. It's got a rule reference 14.4. Just in case there's any weird restrictions. Stack immediately returns to supply, remove out supply, isolate marker. But then they just check for supply again the next time supply comes up. And obviously, I mean, the downsides about not being in supply are, find the right bit here. So just the play raids, I know it has it, like, there's a +1 chip for the attacker drawn. We get a +1 chip if the units are out of supply. And what else? Do they get a -1 hit? Yeah, -1 attacker hit if all defending units are dispersed or unsupplied. I kind of thought there might have been one more. +1 chip, a -1 hit. There's one other thing, isn't it? As it retreats. Or maybe that only applies to dispersed. You know what, Grant? Why don't you just look up in the rule book? Give me a sec. Yeah, page 38, 14.21. No, sorry, 14.2, effects of unsupply. And then 14.21 talks about out of supply, which is what this unit would be. And an out of supply unit suffers the following effects throughout the game turn. So I mean, as long as he's got that out of supply marker, he's going to suffer these effects. No combat tactic may be played for him. But if we had other units, so if I moved a unit into here and then we both attacked, then we would be able to play combat tactics on the unit that wasn't out of supply. So if mechanised unit may move no more than 2 hexes, I'm pretty sure they're only infantry, but that's not really that big a deal. The unit can't build an IP, but retains one previously placed, so he would still keep his IP. If Soviet, the unit may attack only if at least one supplied unit is also attacking. Right. So, like I said, we would have to. We wouldn't have the option of using him to just attack him, for instance. We would need another unit in there. And then, if all units in the hex are out of supply, or a combination out of supply and isolated, the enemy attackers may draw 1 extra combat chip and may disregard 1 attacker hit. If all the units in the hex. Yeah, that's when. So if he gets attacked, then that's the downside to that, and we can't be assigned replacements while we're in that state as well. That was the other one, right? I don't know. I mean, using any one unit move ensures that this guy won't be out of supply. Well, I'd say it ensures that. It ensures we put a unit in here adjacent to it. The Germans still have 1 impulse, so if they were to take that unit out, yeah. So, but whereas if I activate 69th Army, there's no guarantees that we're going to take this before that Rouse unit gets to activate again. What I would say was if we moved it down here, proximate, and then the Rouse unit didn't activate in the last impulse of the turn, I could go into the next turn. I'm going to draw 5 new cards. We're probably looking for 69th Army, and bear in mind, because I activate the 69th Army at the end of the turn, it doesn't carry over and say I can't activate them in the beginning of the next turn. The turn sort of refreshes that part. So there's a chance out of 5 cards I might get a 69th Army card, or Vornish front card, or Stavka card. Not sure I would be using that for it, but I could also do what I'm thinking about doing, activate any one unit and then activate the unit and move it into the town, you know. Because the good thing about when he moved down to here, if I remember rightly, was he not able to move into a position that he was proximate to both of these towns, I think. But the preferences didn't really take that into consideration. So I'm pretty sure we did place him in the right place. So the good thing about if we did take that, it's not that he could then move into the other town. You know, he could make that move again to get proximate to it, and then we'd need to deal with that town. But so yeah, a bit of a dilemma, and I wouldn't have it if I hadn't played that artillery. But that's my own foolishness. So yeah, I think yeah. I think I will actually do the 69th, because just having a look there, if we activated 6th Army, I mean this guy's going to be out of supply, but this is a full stack of 3. But we've got this guy and this guy who are both proximate to maybe this. So we could get them in there, have an attack on that guy, and these could support it. And you know, maybe with a bit of luck. Well, it's not gonna take the out of supply marker off him, but it would get 2 units in there, and yeah. Hopefully then we can hold on, and then next supply check, the out of supply will come off because we'll be adjacent. Okay. Right, I think I'll do this. Yeah, I mean, I've got to do one or the other, and this feels like I'm getting a bit more out of the card rather than activating any one unit, I think. So, yeah, I'm going to go with this. Right, okay, yeah, I just put this here because I actually realised that 1, 2, 3, 4, if I get an infantry unit, I don't know if there's 3 of them here. They're all 3 strength, yeah. And I feel like I only want to take 1, but whether that's wrong or not, I don't know. I mean, he's only a 3 strength infantry unit himself. But the reason I put the cube there was because if I move, well, we're activating 69th Army, right? I'm going to move one of these at least. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just move that guy down there. And my thinking was that now I've got this guy this far south, I could strategically move, and we've got these guys further east, so I could strategically move 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can go 5, but I can't go 6. Which is a shame. And of course I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. Oh, I can go 6 into there actually. Yeah, because that's on the same line as that, and it's on the same line as that. So I suppose, but it doesn't achieve me reaching the town, you know. I still need to move again to get into town, so it's not really doing all that much for me, is it? And what else have we got in there? That's a 1. Well, that's a thought. Hang on, Grant, we could move this guy further that way, and then we could get into Kharkov. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we can't reach Kharkov even with 6. Damn it. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we need to move something further east. Okay. Okay, it's tricky working out this strategic movement. See, in Ardennes, you only had, it was only one direction. You couldn't move any further, I want to say west, wasn't it? Yeah. You couldn't move any further west than the westernmost unit in your corps, I believe it was. But this is not just westernmost, it's southernmost as well. So you've got two directions to look at. And I thought, well, I can't do that, and then I'm going to have to move units out of Belgrade. But look at this, what about this? I can strategically move from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into there, into Belgrade. I mean, okay, I mean, well, I don't want to leave that site empty because this is only a wee 2 strength infantry, and we've got a couple of units there. So I don't want to do that. So now we've got that in there, and he was able to strategically move because it wasn't going any further west. Okay, and it didn't go any further south. So, and then now, yeah, we need somebody further up. That's the thing. So, yeah, if I take that 1 strength infantry and move him 1, 2, 3, 4 just into the woods there. Yeah, that's fine. He's not in any great danger, I don't think. And then now, I can strategically move as far as this west, which is the line of Kharkov, and this south, which is the line of Kharkov. So I can actually, yeah, he wasn't making it, but this guy can now go strategically 1, 2, alright, he can't move into the others, so hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, because he couldn't move further west of that guy, but I can find a path through that way. So that's a unit, so we have actually managed to reach Kharkov. Okay. Yeah, and I suppose the final part is where do I really want this guy? I mean, I think the intention was to take this one. And I think if we've got this one and this one, then, and we've got Kharkov, we're not as bothered about these two. I mean, yeah, I could strategically move down to this one, but that seems a waste, doesn't it? I think I want to be able to get in this one, but I can't. I can reach there, can't I? Was there any way of doing that? There wasn't, was there? No, that's as far south as I could get. Yeah, and then I was able to strategically move south with that one. So, yeah, so he's just going to have to go 1. Well, he can still strategically move 1, 2, 3. Where am I want to put him? I forgot where he was now. 1, 2, 3. Were they there? You know what? I know I can reach these 2 hexes. And I'm not allowed to go in there, so. I don't think it really matters, does it? I'll maybe actually just leave him at the junction there. Yeah, I don't think it really does matter, does it? It does mean that none of them are stacked, so if we get a units card, yeah, that's a fair point. Okay, I'm looking through discard piles again. Yeah, we had no 69th Army units cards that turn, so that tells you you're almost guaranteed one next turn, but then again, we never got that Stavka card this turn. So yeah, that's not so clever, is it? Well, you know what, I think we need to do this just now with them. And if I'd be happy to draw a 69th units card, and I would activate this stack and this stack and just move these guys into the towns. So that would be fine. Okay, I think I'm going to go with that then. So that's me activate 69th. However, this is my last card of the turn, so that resets, like I say. So we could activate 69th Army as our first impulse in the next turn. You're allowed to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Okay, we'll go with that. So that's our last card play. Oh yeah, that was the one we could have repaired that point. Yeah, but no, we weren't going to do that. That wasn't going to be an option. So, well, at least we've got a unit back in Kharkov. It's not the strongest, but I don't see an immediate threat on it. And yeah, I mean, I know it's taking a little bit of chance, this being a 3, but if we can get into the town, then it means he's going to fight us to get out of it, whereas at the moment he can stroll right into it. So, not so good. Right, okay, we'll go with that, and we'll get the last German impulse. We're kind of hoping it's not Core Rouse. Now, I think they've had 2 or 3 cards already this turn. Well, I know they've had 2, because I forgot about that. I forgot about that guy. Twice. Martin, I managed to just see it almost in the nick of time. Yeah, okay. I think I'm fine with that. Right, okay, so last German impulse of the turn. Oh my. Oh dear. Well, that could be horrible, I think. Thing is, I don't think I'll activate that Rouse unit. Then again, maybe, I don't know. We've not had this yet. We've dodged this 2 or 3 times, I think, so it was probably about time we got it. Right, so General Field Marshal Erich von Manstein. Command value of 5. It is not turn 1 to 3. It is turn 5. Air supply, they would remove. You know what? That would probably be quite nice. Well, it's not. Well, you know what? It might be if it was end of turn. Oh, would he do that? Maybe he wouldn't do it. Say we're at the end of turn, and the guy was out of supply, right? And wait, where we are just now, this is going to be the last impulse. Well, mind you, this if this happens, it conducts another German impulse. But let's just say we had a unit that was out of supply. However, the Germans had, throughout the turn, manoeuvred units adjacent to him, so it was just about to be able to trace supply again, moving into the supply phase. Would he waste that event by taking the supply off? And it could well be that he just would. Right, I just looked at it recently, didn't I? 14 point something. 14.4 air resupply. I didn't read the German part though. If the German air supply command event occurs, one German unit stack that is currently out of supply or isolated is immediately placed in supply. Remove the out of supply and isolated marker from the stack. During the next supply phase, the unit stack will again be subject to a normal supply check. It's just the same. Oh, that would have been nice then, eh? Well, mind you, if he did have a unit that was out of supply and they hadn't moved units adjacent to get him out of supply, then it would be useful. Yeah. Maybe a little bit surprised that there's not any kind of something in the rules that, because if it was me, and I drew, and I had, did I not have it? No, I didn't. I was talking about it. So if it was me and one of my units was out of supply, but I'd moved the unit adjacent to him, and it was the very last impulse of the turn, I wouldn't spend an event to put him back in supply. I would, because I would know that he was going to be back in supply in the next supply phase. Okay. Anyway, I didn't see anything there about that, but anyway, an interesting thought. Right, so we're skipping on by that because there's nothing out of supply or isolated. So activate all German units within 2 hexes of German unit with the most German mechanised units in its 2 hex radius. Activate all German units within 2 hexes of the German unit. So the German unit we're marking as a camp group doesn't have to be mechanised then, but we're activating that well, it doesn't have to be, but obviously, yeah, it could well be that that's going to come into it. With the most German mechanised units in its two, no, there's no guarantees. It could be a normal infantry unit, and it could just have lots of mechanised units round about it within two, you know. And then all attacks this activation receive the air power combat tactic. After completing this activation, conduct another German impulse. That's the worst part about it, that bit at the end. So we're still not safe. The Rouse unit could, I mean, he's not going to be the one that activates in the first impulse here, but I'm going to draw another card. Okay, right, let's find, well, my guess is, it's either down here, or it's up in there or somewhere, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. That's it. Okay, so let's have a little look down here first. Yeah, because we do have 2 or 3 units stacked here, whereas up at the 4th Panzer Army area, I think they're mostly singles. Yeah, you're kind of thinking, yeah, it's only going to grab the 4 stacks, isn't it? Or if we put it there, we grab that and these 2, but there's 2 in the stack. Oh no, there's 3 in the stack. Right, okay. So that kind of tells us that it's going to be here. So mechanised units, 1, 2, that's infantry, so maybe not here. 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So yeah, if I put it on there, I'd get 5. And remember, it also then activates all units within 2. So it will additionally add 1, 2, 3 infantry units as well. So it will actually turn into 8, but the check has got to be just mechanised. So yeah, that's 5. I mean, yeah, these are 2 spread about. This would be 3, as you can see, and you know, if I was to put it in there, it'd be 1, 2, 3 as well. Yeah, so that's the best place for it down there, 5. So let's see up at the other side then. Okay, so you can see over there, these 3 guys would pick up everybody, but that would just be a 3. Oops. Sorry. Yeah, so it's going to be in here. See, what have we got there? Is there 2 there? No, that's an IP, right, okay. That's the thing. I should realise with the blue cube on top, but I'm still looking underneath it. Yeah, it still lets you see the unit on the top though, I think, with these blue markers rather than the big IP marker. Okay, so I think in here we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's 6. Yeah, because they were all mechanised units, so it was down the other side. It was just because they were some of them were infantry, although they would have brought, although this is only going to bring in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whereas down there it would bring in 8 units. That's not what we're checking. It's got to be the most activate all German units within 2 hexes of the German unit with the most German mechanised units in a 2 hex radius. Okay, so if I went here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 6 here. Hang on, what about here actually? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a 6 as well actually. And there's a preference to work that one out, isn't there? He is mechanised, yeah. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Yeah, we can't grab. Well, there's 8 there in total, so we obviously can't. Yeah, yeah, they're not quite close enough together. I think that's the best we've got, isn't it? So if it ties, so activate that unit and all German units, not just mechanized units within 2 hexes, and then yeah, where's it talk about them being tied? Oh yeah, if 2 or more units qualify, select the easternmost then southernmost unit. Well, they're both as eastern, and this one's the southern one, so I think that's a winner. That's right, isn't it? East's that way, so they were both the same, and south that way, so it would be him. So he picks up, I mean, that he doesn't pick up this one and this one. He picks up all the rest. And he doesn't grab any extra, he doesn't grab any infantry though, but I mean, neither of them were doing that, and that wasn't part of the preference anyway. So we're going to activate them and then have another impulse. And also, if they do get involved in any attacks, they're going to get air power for each attack. Jolly good. Right, okay. Right then, so I've just put the Kampfgruppe 1 just beside it, just as a kind of reminder, but I should be okay. I know it's this one and this one's not active, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, let's get the showing the road. So none of them are behind Soviet lines. Move to VP Hex. Well, we do have a VP Hex very close by. But Soviet units not proximate to it. It was moved out of from that unit a while back, but nothing's changed there to allow Soviet units proximate to it. So that's not going to happen. So we're going to draw a couple of cards, right? So we'll draw 2 action cards. We get fight and withdraw and escape the pocket. Yeah, that's a bit boring. Right, A14, so escape the pocket first. I'm getting the impression that these will probably not do anything. What escape the pocket is: active unit surrounded or in danger of surround. Well, I've got to remember, these 2 are not active. So, yeah, that would have applied. There you go then, it's just... If we had, yeah, and he's possibly in dangerous around, maybe not, mind you, there's this, oops, I'm not showing you in, am I? Sorry, or I'm not showing you enough. Well, yeah, I was just saying, these 2 units aren't active out of this, it's the rest of them. This one is surrounded, and I was thinking this one might be in danger. It might actually, because this third tank, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe not. It's just the infantry can't get up. This Woods Hex is probably in the way. I don't think they can get round to there, but it's irrelevant anyway because he's not active. So are any of the rest of them in danger of surround? This one's not, because I remember him moving back and whatever. Just wondering about the fact, 1, 2, 3, if we put something in there, which we can, this is an out hex, isn't it? We can't. I've got to look at these things carefully, because I've blundered with it so many times. Yeah, I think that's maybe more what I should be doing, is putting a cube there and saying, you know, can that unit retreat into that hex? Can we get a zone of control in that hex? And the answer's quite clearly no, isn't it? And, you know, if I wanted to check this guy, I would say, well, can I get a zone of control in that hex? And it's no to that as well. That's where it maybe is yes to that one. I'm just wondering, did these guys move? No, I don't think so. I think it's still okay, because although I can get a zone of control in that hex, I can't get one into that hex for that guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can't get up to there. So I could get a unit to there and a unit to there, but I can't get into there. I can't get a zone of control on that hex. Can't get a zone of control on that hex. So yeah. So no, none of them are in dangerous surround or surrounded, and it's just unfortunate that this guy is in surrounded and he might have been able to escape, but he's not active. So are we gonna give that one the okay and move on? I think so. Yeah, I think so. Just whenever I'm checking dangerous surround though, it's like a bit of a gamble. Right, and then find withdrawal. Active units surrounded and adjacent to a hex in German supply, or in which unit would not be surrounded. Well, yet again, this is the card this guy wanted. I mean, the first one would have probably dragged him out. So Yankee can ignore zone of controls. Is that the same in this one? Ignore zone of control for the first move, yeah. So both the cards are what this guy wanted. He is going to be able to trace supply though, because remember he moved that 57 core unit. But none of the units that are active are surrounded, so no, we're not having any of the two cards. That was fortunate from our point, I think. I think the two cards could have been worse. Okay, so I'll bump things about down here. Yeah, I've got my tripod right in the middle of everything, so I need to be a wee bit careful. So that was step 4, checking the other drawn card. So step 5 is move to a hex and removes dangerous round from a German unit, or enable supply trace from a German occupied hex. Well, we already made this move with this unit to get this guy a supply trace, so he doesn't need that anymore. We've said that none of these are in dangerous surround here anyway, and I'm pretty confident about that one not being. I mean, that's actually he's breaking zone of control as well. I mean, yeah, we can't get. He's going to be able to move into this hex. We cannot zone of control that hex basically. So I don't think any of them are in dangerous surround. I mean, moving further along, this core Rouse unit is, but you know, none of these guys are going to be able to do anything about that. 1, 2, yeah, none of these guys can do anything about that. It's too far away. Yeah, okay, I'm going to skip on by that. And there was no supply issues. Like I say, that this guy is able to choose supply, because that was part of it too, wasn't it? Or enables a supply trace from German occupied hex. Well, this 57 core unit already done that. Yeah, well, we said that already, correct? So all the rest of them are okay for supply. Okay, so move on to the next one, which is 6. Move proximate to empty Soviet hex if not already proximate. Well, no, we've not got any empty Soviet hexes that the guys are near. These are covered, and this one's beside them, and well, hold on. I suppose, I know that's a weird kind of angle, but it's just I don't want to move the tripod just now. I dare say these could get proximate to this. So this is an ascending order. So, well, I've got this guy first, but I mean, he's adjacent. Yeah, I was just checking. Kind of forgot about that one. Action step 2, you've got to remember that if they're already in a VP hex, they're not going to move, but there's none of them. That's fine. So it's just based on the restrictions, because I think, I mean, even this guy could maybe, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe not. Yeah, I mean, to get proximate to this, we're not going to be able to come through there. So 1, 2, 3. Sorry. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So can we get anybody to there, I think, is what we're looking at. Well, these two, maybe. Is that right? If I landed... Sorry, I'm probably just off, aren't I? You know what, I'm going to have to move this. I need to plug my phone in anyway, so... Give me a sec. Okay, I've zoomed... Where's my tweezers? Here. Yeah, I zoomed back out again. So I was checking this, because if we could end there, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, right, I've went down the road. That's not the case then, is it? Of course, I came from here going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But coming from here, I couldn't do it that way. So, well, in actual fact, yeah, that's not... I would need to be in here, wouldn't I? Or maybe here if he's come down the road. No, you know what? If he's come down the road, it'd be there. 1, 2, 5. Yeah, but we're not getting away down there, are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I mean 7, 8. He's worse. Yeah, I think it would have to be. There, because reaching there is not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay, it doesn't look like it could happen right enough then. Yeah, because that's the only way coming down. Yeah. Okay. Right then. Okay, so what's next then? That was step 6, wasn't it? Yeah, definitely not. I'm fine with that now. So step 7 is move and descending order. Move to a hex that causes surround of Soviet unit. So can they? Yeah, now this is where I thought that this guy was going to be in trouble anyway. So yeah, we need to move in a bit on this. I think there's definitely. I mean, this guy can go 1, 2, 3, so he can definitely move around there, surround. But there could be a bit more to it than that. Okay, problem is I need my phone plugged in, so I can't really quite... I've zoomed in there a bit. So right, well, we can... did I say descend in order, well, actually, he might be the highest. He's 8. So we've got an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 2. So he is the highest. So he can definitely make this move to surround that guy. Can he make the move even 1, 2? No, probably not. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he can. So he can definitely move into there. I think, you know what? I don't think we should be looking at anything else there. I think that's that. Well, actually, we do need to look and see if he's surroundable himself, I suppose. So I think the two here are don't cause any German unit in a hex and Soviet support to be put in dangerous round, unless that unit is active and not yet acted. And if not in dangerous round, don't end move in dangerous round unless it's BP hex outside Soviet support. Or causes surround of Soviet unit. Did I consider that before? I think I did actually, didn't I? I think I did. I think I had that same moment that I've just had just now. I hope I did. When I moved in and thought, oh, we don't need to check for dangerous round because we're surrounding a Soviet unit. So yeah, I think we did have this moment. So I think he's just going to just shovel that stuff off. 1, 2, 3. and he doesn't mind. I mean, to be honest, I'm not. Well, maybe he is. 1, 2, 3. No, because that's 4 to move into there from the mechanised unit. Right, let's get some of this out of the way. We'll leave the blue cube. That's where it was, just in case. Yeah, I think so though. I think that's okay, and he's not. Yeah, I mean he's making things tighter, really, isn't he? By coming round there. I mean, not that these units could get around. We looked at it already, and I've just said 1, 2, 3. Well, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can move into there, but well, I don't think that's surrounded, but hang on, that might be actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 for an infantry into there. I think he is surrounded with that, isn't he? Yeah, he is. So just before that unit wouldn't be surrounded though, no. So it's just him moving into there. We could do that. But, like I've just read, if not in dangerous round, which he wasn't, don't move in dangerous round unless the move causes surround of Soviet unit. So he's fine with it. Now, he wouldn't do it if he was allowing somebody else to become in surround that wasn't active. You know, if it, like this guy, or, well, this guy's not active, But, like I said, it's just too far to get around. He's going to have an out hex here. So yeah, I think I'm good with that. Okay, so is there any of the other ones? I'm not so sure there is there? I think it was just that guy that we can surround. I don't think so. I mean, we can get something into here. But, yeah, it's not surrounding that. And you can't get in round the back. We've looked at that possibility. Yeah, I think just that. Well, that does mean that they've carried out an action now. They've done something. Okay. So how many was there? 6 units. That's 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. These 5 left. Yeah, there was nothing more we could surround there. Okay, move on to the next step. So 8 is if not adjacent to Soviet unit, move closer to nearest Soviet unit. And this is an ascending order, right? So unit 2 is already adjacent, so he's fine. So we're considering unit 4 first. So it's going to be 4, 5, and 6 because 7 is adjacent as well. So 4, 5, and 6. Starting with 4. I'm going to open 10.54 up again. But I'd prefer to do it with action steps first, and we can just look and just double check, right? So adjacent to Soviet unit. Well, what we're looking at unit 4. Sorry, he's wanting to move closer to his nearest Soviet unit. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right. So all 3 of these stacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one's too far away. So it's between the 3. Prefer adjacent to Soviet unit. Well, we can get adjacent to every one of them. Yeah. Empty or garrisoned position hex. No. This is an empty hex, but it's not a position hex. There's no position hexes or garrison hexes adjacent. So no. Within 3 hexes of a unit in the same core, he would be there, he would be there, he would be there, and he would be there. So that's fine. And then closest to nearest Soviet unit. So none of that breaks anything down at all. So let's have a look at the 10.54 then. A hex that would cause the Soviet unit to become surrounded. No. No. A hex not adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. Well, yeah, still not got this cleared up. So a hex. So this is adjacent to this, and a German unit's adjacent to it. So no. No as well because of that guy, and then no as well because of that guy, and then no for that guy. So none of them fit that bill. Well, that's fine because he's then going to look for an empty hex. So we now have two possibilities here or in the bottom there. And what's next? An empty hex. A hex occupied solely by German units not attacking. That doesn't apply. Most movement points to reach. Well, that's 1, 2, and that is 1. Well, in actual fact, that's a broken. Yeah, that's much more in it because I can't. I've got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's definitely this one, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to move that to there just now. I'm going to move my camp marker into there. You can see what's still to activate. And that's where that guy was. We can take that away. Is that good? He's not opened up anything proximate to here, as in, yeah, he's going to be in dangerous round, Grant. Calm down, Grant. So, yeah, I mean, he's not surrounding anyone like that, so he is still prevented getting himself into dangerous round. And if he ended there, it's 1, 2, 3, and he's surrounded. So let's just change that. We had two options. So let's try that one instead, I think. Admittedly, that was not as many hexes, but it was an empty hex. You went through the preferences. This one would have been better. It was restricted. This one's the next option. It is not restricted. Okay, good. Right, next one was, what did we say, 5? It's 5 and 6. 7's already adjacent. And 2's already adjacent. Right. So unit 5. Right. Okay, it's slightly different because this guy's 5 hexes away. That's 4 away, that's 4 away, that's 4 away. So these are his 3 targets that he wants to look at. He wants to get adjacent, he can do that with all 3 of them. Now, he's going to be moving away from the town as well, so we need to... I don't think he's going to move in on these 2 guys, is he? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we could probably skip a bit here and say that he can't move adjacent to... that's where it was. He can't move adjacent there to these 2 guys because that's leaving that town open. He can't move to there because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the same. He could, however, now I said this unit, right, okay, so he could possibly move to there or there, I think. Take that away now, actually. Yeah, because that would, because like I say, these other 2 would definitely be restricted. They would break a restriction. So if we look at the 2, and then just looking at the action step again, adjacent to Soviet unit, empty or position hex, empty position hex. Oh, yay, 74. So, right, well, just in case though, I mean, dangerous round's got to come in at 2 grand. Well, this one's, that one would definitely be in dangerous round, I think. Yeah, so there is a possibility that one's not. Or is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it is, isn't it? And now, hang on, we're not crossing Yeah, they're. Hang on, there's 6th Army. Ooh, this is well us. Sorry, you're maybe not seeing any of this. Zoom out a bit, Grant. Right, sorry. I don't know what I was not showing you there. These were the two possibilities that would keep the town in a safe state, if you like. But then, and then this was the one with the position hex. So that would be preferential, going the preferences. However, I thought, well, this is going to be surroundable, this one, and right enough, 1, 2, 3, 4. He can go in there, surround that. And then, but I thought this was also surroundable. But this is 6th Army. He can't cross that boundary. And since Martin reminded me recently that I talked about it, so I've reminded myself again now. But maybe it's stuck, Martin. So 1, 2, 3. I can't go into that hex. And then obviously this guy would be able to go out and that's expensive going out and in there. He would be able to do it though, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So if I could move the 6th Army unit into there, that is a surroundable hex, but I can't. So that could still be considered, I think. So preferences there were adjacent to Soviet unit, yes. Empty or garrison position hex, and there was only one. Yes. So just double checking 10.54. 30, a hex it cause surround, no. A hex not adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. Well, it's not actually, but the thing is, I think that's the only possible hex, even if I go through these these preferences. An empty hex, it has a hex occupant, yeah. Most movement point, yeah, I don't think that does anything. So this might work, this one. Based on the fact that the 6th Army unit can't get in there to surround. And like I've also said, it stops the 3rd Tank unit being proximate to the town. The 6th Army unit could legally go into the town, because it's this side of his line, but he's only 4 movement, and he's not getting there. I think we're going to go with that one. Yeah. And then he's not making anybody else in dangerous round. He's not in dangerous round himself. Because I've just remembered in time that this guy can't actually move across this line. I mean, if he moves any side of this line, the guy's got an out. Because remember, I can't get anything into here either. Yeah, I'm good with that one. So the last one was Unit 6. Okay, so his nearest is these 2 stacks. This is 3 away and the other one's further away. So he can get adjacent to both of them. Don't think there's going to be breaking any restrictions actually. So, and then empty or garrison position hex, no. Within 3 hexes. Well, hang on, sorry. He could actually be in here, or here, couldn't he? Because these are his. That's fine though. But each one of them is going to be this. Even this one would be in 3. Hang on a sec. Yeah, sorry. Here, or here are his options, and even if he went here, he's still within 3 of a unit in the same core. So all of them are good. Closest to nearest Soviet unit. Right, okay. It's going to come down to this hex, I think. Oh, so 10.54. Not surrounding. Not adjacent to German unit, adjacent to the same. Yeah, I think all of these are going to fall into that. So we can then move on to empty hex, isn't it? Yeah. So it's going to be this one. Well, he's going to move from there to there. Simply. And yeah, I don't see any restrictions. There's a big line of German units. It's not putting anything else in dangerous round. This town has still not got a Soviet unit proximate to it. He's not in dangerous. No, because now we can't actually. No, don't talk rubbish, Grant. This is a Soviet unit. However, we can't just move into here because this guy's come down, so we're like, this is like 4 movement to go into there, and then another 2 to get across there. Yeah, no, that's not doing no harm at all, I don't think. So I think they're all good. So what have we got left? We've got Unit 2 and Unit 7. This guy wasn't active and this guy wasn't active. So Unit 2 and Unit 7. And they're already adjacent, so we skip movement method, action step 8. Oh well, that's us, we're on to remove disperse markers, aren't we? They're just going to sit tight. Okay, right, that's just an hour. And we've got another impulse. Because that's what it says on the card. I want to finish this turn, and I don't think I'm going to do it unless we get a quickie here. So that was that. Looking kind of nasty up there. Well, let's see if we can maybe get a card that goes simply. I mean, a core Rouse Kampfgruppe card would go simply, but I wouldn't be happy about it, I tell you, because we would be losing a victory point. Okay, that goes away, and it does say, yeah, there was no attacks. Yeah, we drew 2 kind of duff cards for them, didn't we? And after completing this activation, conduct an German impulse. Right, here we go. Second SS. Okay, I get the feeling this might be going to have to be split up now. Well, I've had a video already that starts on a German impulse, so, or starts near the beginning of a German impulse, I think. There's nothing to deploy, so it's going to try and act. Oh, it's a Kampfgruppe one. Yeah. Well, I can pretty much see where it's going to be, I think. Can't we give it a look then, Grant? Maybe an hour and 1 minute only. Right, so just to zoom out, yeah, we've got two units across here. We do have 1 across here still. But the Kampfgruppe would go in there. Because it activates 3 units, so oops, and here, because that one's within 2, that one's within 2, and it activates all those units and all units stacked with those units. Unfortunately, there's nothing stacked with those units, so it might mean it goes a bit quicker. There's no guarantees to that, because we're going to draw cards, aren't we? So the 3 second SS units are going to activate. Well, I hope they do so. Oh, well, mind you, we've got an event here, overextended. I don't know what that does, but it's just if they don't do nothing. Right, let's move on. See if we can maybe get this in. Probably got about 15 minutes here. Thing is, I've got the end of turn stuff as well. That's generally pretty quick. Get on, mate, Grant. Come on. Right, behind solid lines, no. Move to VPX, no. Draw 2 action cards, right. Well, let's see what happens with these, and we can, if we're in a sentence, scratch our head. Right, bold attack, strong attack. Okay, things could happen. Let me just see, did these activate? So, situation, right, sorry, I should really show you, shouldn't I? There's bold attack. Is it all active units? Situational strength of active unit stack. No, it's just looking at them individually. What is the next one? Situational strength of active unit stack and other active units, but that's greater than 4 times. Other active units, yeah, I mean, if it gets to do it, oops. Non-active proximate units, no, that's in lead unit stat, lead units core. Yeah, no, I'm not so sure they will be doing this. I kind of feel like I should start afresh here though. Yeah, because I'm going to have to copy this part. I'm going to have to copy this part up anyway, so what I'll do is I'll just come back to the start of this. The next part, I'll just start this German impulse, and I can just put a wee reminder we've checked. That's not it's step 3 that you draw the cards, so I mean you're only stepping checking step 1 and 2, and they're generally quick to check, so I can go over that again just briefly. And then they're the 2 cards we drew. I think that's probably better. And then I can end the turn and start the next turn, and then we'll see what size the video is, and then maybe I can get another impulse in either. Well, okay, I better do it that way, but I've got a bit of time, so I'm going to just upload this, get it going, and come straight back. Okay, so I'll be back shortly, guys. Cheers.